Good afternoon, everybody. It's Cliff Yates, Crazy Cliff Yates, live on YouTube, vertical. Why? Because this shows up in the shorts feed and I get to connect with people who aren't already subscribed to the channel. Hey, because we're always growing a community of progress here, and that gets me moving. And I am moving right now on the way to the gym. Hey, let me know where you're at, what you're doing today. Let's take control of the day. Hey, and the theme of the stream today is conscious affiliation. I was actually studying this today. It's something I've talked about before, I've been aware of before, I've focused on before, and I still to this day try to employ conscious affiliation. What the hell is conscious affiliation? Really, it's just self-awareness of who we're hanging around. The closest people that we hang around are having the most influence and are influencing our future. Our environment plays a big role on what we think, what our feelings are, which creates emotions, which creates vibration, which creates magnetism. Raw and real, everybody. I leave the mistakes in. One of the reasons why I like to go live is because I do leave the mistakes in. In this day and age of AI generated material and content, things that we don't know if they're actually real or they're overly edited or produced or too polished, more and more realness, authenticity, raw and real is more valuable to us than overly polished, overly edited. And a lot of times content that we're seeing in front of our faces are auto-generated by AI. And, you know, that's not attractive to most of us. We want reality. We crave reality lately. And that's why I'm going live with you today, right here on the channel. So, theme of the stream is conscious affiliation. Paying attention, self-awareness of who we're hanging around, because who we are hanging around has an effect on our future. And so, let's do it with intention. All right, everybody, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Jump on here. I know a lot of people are showing up in the shorts feed, and I'm glad you're here. You're in the right place. I love talking about self-improvement, how we can live better today than we did yesterday, because really we have that choice. At any time, we can make a pivot. At any time, we can change our thoughts. At any time, we can change the direction of our life. It's an exciting thing when you start to think about the control that you have over your choices. Okay, wow, at any time today, this next minute, I could decide to make a new direction, to have a new ambition, to have new goals. I could shit can every goal I had yesterday. I could start a new today. That should be exciting to you because you could create goals that will pull you in a new direction. They don't have to push you. It's not forced upon you, but you realize there's a flow of energy out there that's coming to and through us. And if we control the flow, wow, it can be very exciting. So conscious affiliation, which is the self-awareness of who we are hanging around and the effect that that has on us. Our environment has a direct influence on our future. Let's start designing it with intention. And that's what I do. You find yourself when you go into the gym, oh wow, there's actually a lot of people that enjoy working out. There's actually a lot of people who get it done. They get in here. There's a lot of young people. There's a lot of old people. There's a lot of males and there's a lot of females in the gym. And when you're around that energy, there's such a thing called social contagion. It's contagious when you're around that energy, when you're around the people who are like-minded. Not that you're around everybody who agrees with you, but they're like-minded. They are breathing life into you. And that's how you want your friends and family, the people who are in your inner circle. Audit that inner circle. Ask the questions. Are they breathing life into my ambitions and my intentions? Are they watering the direction of my life? Or are they creating a drought And so we may have to cut back on how much connection, how much contact, how much they play a life and are part of our inner circle. Audit that inner circle. I was thinking yesterday, and I was talking to a good friend of mine, Paul, who's a personal trainer. He has trained many high school kids, college athletes, and just people in the gym that he personally trains. Always full of life, big smile, and we were just conversing the other day. And at one time, I had been, venting to him, expressing some of my concerns, challenges, and you know what? We developed a friendship because he was willing to share with me some of the things that he had been challenged with, gone through, made it through, some of the things that he overcame. And so by talking to him, like, oh, wow, here I was thinking and expressing to him, these are the troubles that I'm having, Paul. And then I talked to Paul, and he's telling me how, his first wife passed away at a very young age. She died. She was on a lot of medications. She developed a cancer and died. And they have a couple small kids. And boy, he went through that. He got through it. And continuing to work out and train, get into the gym, because he understood just from being in athletics how important that was to his mental health. His physical health was dependent on his mental health and vice versa. It was a teeter-totter back and forth. And so he knew how important his state of mind was for mental and physical health. He knew how important it was to live intentionally and intentionally create the states that are going to serve him the best. So he knew that working out, exercising, number one, was going to change his physiology immediately upon entering the gym, how he carried himself. Number two, his focus would change. Getting in the gym, his focus changed. Then what he was saying, the little voice in his head that said he was meant for more, he could create more, he could become more, he could be stronger. And so he had those things. There's one of those mistakes, everybody. Those are the gifts that you get. But he changed his focus. He changed his physiology. He changed what he was saying to himself. So, social contagion. Being around people, the environment affects us. Hey, listen, when we're first born, we have our genetics initially, right? We're most like the people around us genetically. And then, almost immediately, we are affected by our environment, by what people are saying to us, but by how they're talking to us, by their expressions on their faces, the environment, the noises, the music. We are affected by that as a little baby. And as we grow older and we start adulting, we are affected just as much by our environment. But a lot of us, on occasion, can tend to float along. We may not be self-aware, self-conscious. We might not be consciously controlling our affiliations, who we're hanging around, and realizing they have a big impact on our future self. So we need to take control of that. Listen, everybody, another key concept I was studying today is our energy is one of the most important assets of our life. Our energy. So protect it. Protect your energy, protect your ambitions, your thoughts, and your intentions. Don't let anybody else suck your energy out. Not only out of the room, but out of yourself. Control it. Conscious affiliations, the theme of the stream today, everybody. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. And listen, you're not going to be disappointed. All of the content, all of the time, really is about creating value, not for ourselves only, but for other people. No greater joy than having a positive impact on other people. You will get that. That's why people like to do things for other people. They're not just serving for the other person, they're actually serving for themselves. It's a little bit, it's a little bit selfish when you're giving. I learned from Tony Robbins a long time ago, right? Never rob anybody else the gift of giving, right? If you're always the one picking up the tab, you get great joy out of buying the lunches, buying the dinners. No, I got this. And when everybody else tries to do it, you say, no, I got this. Sometimes you got to step back and you got to say, whoa, wait a minute. I don't want to rob these people of the gift of giving that I get all the time. So I'm going to step back today. I'm going to let them treat me. I'm going to let them buy lunch. I'm going to let them buy dinner. Don't rob somebody else of the gift of giving. And I found myself doing that. I got into a position where, hey, I can buy the dinner. You know, I can buy the lunch. I can treat this person. Somebody else would try, no, I got it. I got this. And then I had to realize I'm robbing them of the gift of giving. So every once in a while, let somebody else treat you. Let somebody else give you a hand, because you know how it makes you feel to help somebody else, to give somebody else a gift, right? So the greatest gift sometimes that you can give another person is to let them give to you. That's kind of a key concept. It's something to learn. If you live like nobody else, you'll start living like nobody else. How about tip? You ever tip people? Try this thing. You want to live extraordinarily. Try this, tipping. You know what tip means? To ensure prompt service. Tip, to ensure prompt service. If that's the reason we tip people, then why would we give it after the service? You go out to lunch with somebody, you kind of know what the bill's going to be, $5, right? Or let's say the bill's going to be $20. Well, let's be realistic. You're going out to dinner with somebody, it's going to be $50 for your lunch, for the two of you. 20% tip would be $10. What if your server came over to you and you says, hey, what's your name? Oh, Diane. Hey, Diane, this is my friend Tim here. And listen, I know you're going to take good care of us. We like to tip you up front, and you give her $10. Wow. $10. Same $10 you would give her after the service. Now you're putting it up front. Now you would think, wait a minute, why would I give it up front? Now I don't know how they already have the money. Why would they treat me good? You'd be surprised. People will jump all over to serve you. That is something so unique. Nobody else does it. Number one, nobody else does it. Just try it. You won't believe the response you're going to get when you tip to ensure prompt service. You're giving the money up front. Same $10, amazingly different results. This is just one way that you can decide to live a little bit differently, a little bit uniquely, not the same as everybody else, right? To live an extraordinary life, we do not need to do extraordinary things. What we need to do is do ordinary things extraordinarily well. And that's really one of the keys to living a life extraordinarily. Hey, what's up? What's up? I love it. Hey, Sal Bonilla. Hey, hi, brother. How are you? Richard Phillips. Hello, everybody. Thanks for checking in with me and connecting with me. We were talking about conscious affiliation. Who we hang around has a big effect on our future, so we should intentionally design who we're going to hang around. Audit our inner circle. The people we most hang around have the most influence on our life. And so it's important to recognize who those people are. And sometimes we get around people who are way ahead of us, which could cause us to start comparing and start thinking to ourselves, wait a minute, look at how far ahead they are of me, instead of thinking, wow, look at how far they are ahead of me. What can I learn from them that's going to really shortcut my journey to where they are? I have a unique opportunity to learn from these people. What can I learn from these people today? That's another empowering question. You know, it comes down to questions. You know, I talk about this a lot, how you want to change your life, change your thinking, but really change the questions you ask yourself, because your brain, subconscious mind, and your conscious mind, it does not argue with you. It always searches for an answer to the questions you ask it. It does not say, that's not true, hold on. No, it goes for an answer. It searches for an answer to the question. So if you're asking a question, why am I so screwed up? Why do all these bad things happen to me? Your brain is going to look for the answer to that question. Instead, ask an empowering question. What's good about this? What is good about this? What if your philosophy changed to, through every adversity, there's an equal or greater opportunity if I'll just look for it. Hey, that's a different philosophy, the way we think. It's a different paradigm, as Bob Proctor would say, how we process information that's coming to us. Right? The same information is going to come to us, right? But what if we change the way we process it? What if our thinking filter changed? What if the meaning we gave to things started to change? What if every time something happened for us, instead of happening to us, we ask a question and respond, what's good about this? Even if it's not in reality, it's going to help us. You got a flat tire. What's good about this? What's good about this? Well, I didn't go out. I wasn't on the freeway going 80 miles an hour, have a blowout, spin into a tractor trailer and get killed. That's good. What else is good about this? Well, I needed new tires anyways, and now I didn't get off my ass. Now I have to do it. That's what's good about this. Changing our questions is so important. You know what? Ask the questions yourself. Someone would ask you, hey, what are you so grateful for in your life? What are you grateful? And now all of a sudden you've repeated that to your brain. What am I grateful for? And now you're searching for why are you so grateful, or what are you grateful for in your life? Because someone asked you that question. You don't need them. You can ask the question yourself. Cut them out. Ask that in the morning as if someone else was asking the question. You're going to repeat it in your own inner voice anyways. Why not start it yourself every morning? Since you know you can't have two opposing thoughts in your head at the same time, so instead of starting your day scrolling, looking at media, negative news, what if every day you started with that empowering question? Hey, what am I most grateful for in my life? And now your brain's going to be looking for that answer, and now you're controlling the narrative of your inner head. That's empowering, everybody. Might sound like la bullshit. However, it's not. Why do things become cliches? Because they're true. All right, everybody, I'm at the gym. I'm going to get it done because social contagion is a real thing. In other words, I'm going to get around like-minded people. I'm going to get in there and I'm going to have social proof. Wow. No, not everybody's fat and lazy. As a matter of fact, look at the people in here. They got after it today. I'm gonna watch them today. Wow, look at these people. The women, the young, the old. They're in here in the gym and they're working out. They're putting in a strenuous exercise routine. Hey, that's awesome. That's inspiring. It's socially contagious to me. And maybe they'll get a little bit from me onto them. I'm going to slime them with a little positivity, everybody. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. And listen, learn to care less. All right? Not carelessness. Carelessness leads to tragedy. No, care less. Don't care less about people. Care more about people. Care less about their judgment, about their opinion of you. If you start operating your life for the approval of others, the likes of others, the friendships of others, you're going to start to contort. You're going to start to shrink and diminish and what you're trying to do. Do not be doing things for the approval and the likes and the friendships of other people. And believe me, that's going to become very attractive to other people. Trying less, caring less about their judgments and opinions is going to create an attractiveness in you. Why will you attract those people? Why? Because your thoughts is the start of the domino effect. Once you start thinking, that's going to create some feelings. Those feelings are going to turn into emotions. And those emotions are going to become vibrations. And the vibrations are going to be magnetic. You're going to be on the same frequency as other people who are on your same vibration. That's why you feel it. You're not only a transmitter of your vibrations, you're a damn receptor. You know how it is when you're in a room. People walk into the room, automatically you feel their vibration. Whoa, whoa. You know when somebody has a dark cloud, negativity, they don't even have to say a word to you. Whoa, you're repelled by it because you're on a different vibration. You're on a different frequency. Change your frequency, change your vibration, and you're gonna change what you attract. You don't have to go after money, success, friendships, positive relate. You're going to attract those by your vibrations. I'm getting excited just talking about this stuff, and I'm talking off the top of my head, raw and real, everybody. Why? Because I study this stuff all the time. You know what? If what you're doing is not working for you, hey, try doing what I've been doing. Try studying who I've been studying. Try reading who I've been reading, because, hey, I'm just a little baby right now. I'm only 68 years old, so I know I'm still young. But I'm confident if I habituate the way I've been thinking and doing, that when I get older, that it's going to serve me well, and it's going to reflect. My outer world is going to reflect my inner world, my inner thinking. All right, everybody, subscribe. Saul Bonilla, you rock. All right. I'm going to try to schedule my lunch at noon Eastern time so I can catch you. What the hell? If you're going to do that, then I will try to put these lives out every day at noon on a consistent basis. You have given me positive feedback that only encourages me. The gift of encouragement, everybody. It's so important. And you're going to start to really, you're going to make a track in a neural pathway of your mind to be thinking a certain way. And it's so damn powerful. What's great about your thinking and your ability to change it at any time, no one has control over that. And I was talking yesterday about Viktor Frankl's book. Viktor Frankl has a book called Man's Search for Meaning. I've read it 3 times, 4 times. I'm going to read it again. He was in a concentration camp. Most or all of his family were killed in the camps. He was a psychologist. He had been preparing to write a book on his therapy philosophy, which is logotherapy, which is about the meaning that we give to thoughts and things that happen for us. So he's in this camp, concentration camp, family wiped out. He watched people give up in the camps, throw themselves into the wire, and commit suicide. He watched other people keep going. They persisted, prevailed, and he realized, what's the difference? He kept asking that question. And so he started preparing. He gave meaning to everything that was happening. Okay, this is what I'm going to talk about when I'm out of this camp. Because he found the one thing that those people could not take control of in his life, right? They tortured him. They took away his food. They took away everything, his clothing, but they could not control or take away what he was thinking. And that is the first domino of a great life, our thinking. The one thing that nobody can control or take away from you is your, I don't care if you've hit rock bottom. If you've hit rock bottom, ask yourself what's good about it. I'll tell you what's good about it. There's no other direction than up. And now you can start going up today. Wow, I'm getting excited, everybody. I can't wait to get in the gym, get after it. All right, let's make the rest of today great. Whatever's happened up to this point is the past. If we have powerful lessons from it, take it with you. If not, forget it. You have no control over it. I have control over the present moment. Right, I might die tomorrow or 2 hours from now. If I do, God bless me. All right, I'm hitting the gym, everybody. You know I love you, Cliff Yates. I'll see you in the next video.